Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com to bring my top 10 stocks as we head into Wednesday, May 7th. This will be a technical analysis breakdown. So if you're someone that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're interested in just learning more about charts and how they can be used as a tool to help make good decisions as a trader, this will be a video for you. First off, a couple clarifications. Number one, the candlestick that you see right there will be moving around and changing. That is because the market's still open for a small amount of time. But I like to do these videos when the market is still open because sometimes we can capture some really interesting late day price movement. Second, I'll be using the 30-minute time frame, meaning each one of these candlesticks here represents 30 minutes worth of time. So stock number one, we are taking a look at KTTA, and yeah, we're starting with a full-blown pump and dump because this one is very popular today. A lot of people talking about it. Now, what do I mean by a pump and dump? What is my definition of a pump and dump? Well, mine is this. A price makes a really impressive move, and then within a relatively small amount of time, the price goes right back to where it all began. So let's just take note of where did all this begin? Well, going into today, the price was down and within this range of the chart. And then the price made a very, very impressive move. Credit where credit's due, from where it was in this range to all the way up there. Very, very impressive move. But now you look at, well, where's the price currently at? And this is where, and then the price goes back to where it was in a small amount of time. Well, considering this all happened in the same exact day, I think we can agree this downwards movement happened pretty quickly, but hit the high, and then it's now right down to where it is at this location. And when I do this, you can see the price, for argument's sake, is right back to where it all started. So that is by definitionally speaking, a pump and dump. Now, that's not to say that this can never make another nice move up. To be fair, the last time the price was down in this area, there was a nice move up. Does that mean that if it goes down here again, it'll for sure bounce back up? Of course, there's no guarantees in that situation. So that's not to say that this can never, ever make another nice move back in the upwards direction. But as far as today's price action is concerned, for the reasons here, I would classify it as a pump and dump. Next one here, FOXO. Very nice looking pattern on this one. So let's get this drawn into play. So the first part of the pattern being right here, the resistance portion. Let me get this trend line into play. There we go. And then bottom part of the pattern being that area of support right there, green for support. And then just to make it easier to see, let's all keep it one color. So we have our area of resistance. We have our area of support. We have the big upwards move right there. And then for you golfers out there, put a golf hole down here, make it a little bit more visually easy to see. And we have a bull pennant pattern. Now, just because something's in a bullish pattern does not mean for sure guaranteed the price is going to move upwards. But would it be shocking? Would it catch people off guard if this thing chopped around a little bit and then made a move in the upwards direction? No, I don't think anybody would be shocked if the price made that sort of break. So if you like this price range down below $5, you like bull pennant patterns, definitely keep an eye on it. Next one, HIMS, absolutely monster move today, especially when you factor in that there was actually a big old gap down. And then that opening 30 minutes, price started off there, and I remember looking at the chart during that time, and it went pretty much straight up. Granted, it did pull back, but has since recovered. But big picture-wise, chart looking very, very good. You can see that via the fact that it's staying above that purple line there, 50-period moving average, or just looking at it today, clearly very good day after the gap down. And I say all that because I am going to now talk about what I see as a bearish pattern, which right here is known as the rising wedge. Now, let me be very clear before everybody gets upset. Just because there's a bearish pattern, like I was saying with the bullish patterns, does not mean for sure guaranteed the price is going to go downwards. But even if it does, a rising wedge does not mean that it's going to crash, it's going to reverse. But let's just say this. Let's say it comes down here, breaks through the rising wedge, and then, pulls back that amount. What would you still have? Emphasis on big picture. Well, from the big picture, you'd still have a set of lows there. You'd have lows there. You'd have lows down here. And if you envision each one of those as stair steps, again, emphasis on big picture, what would you still have? You'd still have plenty of progress being made in the upwards direction. So a pullback is not necessarily a bad thing as long as it builds those higher bases. But yes, given the nature of the rising wedge, I would look for some sort of pullback here. But again, no guarantees. So maybe this thing decides to keep on just beast moding up. But as of right now in the 30-minute, I'm seeing that rising wedge bearish pattern. Next one here, AIFU. We're going to go through this one quicker as you've already heard me talk about this pattern. And I want to respect your time as much as possible. So there we have the resistance portion of the pattern. Here we have the support portion. Let me change that to green and then keep this all the same color. Make it easier to see. So we have our resistance. We have our support. We have the nice upwards move right here. We have the golf hole down here. And this we have another bull pennant pattern. So I'd say the biggest difference here is this one just happens to be a penny stock. So if you only like penny stocks but you do like bull pennant patterns, here you go, AIFU. Next one here, PLTR, and this will mean a little bit more to those of you that watched the video yesterday, but I talked about the rising wedge pattern here. Now, all rising wedges do not, cause this sorts of pullbacks. This one did have earnings, but amazing, the power of charts. That rising wedge pattern nailed the earnings as there is that big gap down. So there is the rising wedge playing out. But again, not just because the rising wedge forms does not mean you're going to get that much of downwards move. But now moving forward, the best dynamic here that held strong today was that pink line right there, which is on my chart that 200 period simple moving average, very important level. And when the price is up above it, assuming you're bullish, you want to see it act as support. And that is exactly what played out here. You can see acted as support beautifully there, acted as support beautifully there. So moving forward, right around that 106.50 mark, going to be an important area as support, as long as the price stays above there. Then from the big picture standpoint, the price is still very clearly building an overall higher base. So in that regard, so far so good in that. From that point of view, in terms of areas of resistance, definitely seems to have some sellers hanging out there right around the 109.65 mark. So in some senses, you could call this an ascending triangle pattern. So I'm just going to use this, the moving average, as our lower trend line. So we have that right there. We have that coming across the top. So ascending triangle. Now it's just a question of, does this thing need to kind of bounce around a little bit before getting a move back to the upside? We'll see what happens with it. But from the overarching standpoint, PLTR still in an uptrend. It's just a question of, can this miniature ascending triangle here start to get it to move back upwards? Real quick, want to take a break and personally invite you to get signed up for this free live online webinar that I'm offering here in a couple of days. So if you've been enjoying what you've seen and you want to learn more about this tool, how it can and should be used to build consistency and manage risk, then definitely get signed up for the free live class. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a link down in the description area you can use to sign up. Or if you're watching right at my website, there's an area on the webpage right there that you could click to get signed up. So like I said, if you've been enjoying, then definitely get signed up for the free class. Next one here, ticker symbol MRIN. And again, to respect your time, I'm going to go through this quickly because you've already heard me talk about this pattern before. So we have our area of resistance right there. We have our area of support right there. So resistance, support, big move up right there. Golf hole down here, we have ourselves another bull pennant pattern. So if you like penny stocks, you like bull pennants, here's another choice for you to have. Next one, NVDA, and this will mean a little bit more to those of you that have been watching the past videos, but if you have, you know that we've been watching that trend line here very closely, and oh so close, yet oh so far away. You can see the last 30 minutes here, the price actually did break up through that red line, but as I speak right now, the price has now fallen back below that resistance area. So as of now, I would agree that it's been a weakened area of resistance, but because the price is back down below it, it is still a level of resistance nonetheless. So definitely a very kind of disappointing final 30 minutes. I'm sure there was plenty of breakout players that were like, hey, finally it's broken out, let's get going. So they were buying, maybe just feeling good, and then it pulled back. Now that doesn't mean that the entire chart's ruined or anything like that. But yes, you got to think some people somewhat disappointed there given the price was not able to push up through that area. But all things considered, very, very impressive day, especially when you factor in that the price and day started off all the way down here. So that was the lows of the day, and then it was able to battle all the way back up there. So sure, fake break of that resistance area, but when you consider where the price started, I would say overall very, very healthy day. I'm going to go ahead and adjust this area of support down to there now at the 112.50 mark. I'd say that's a very ideal level, meaning that would make the chart look the strongest moving forward. Because if the price were to come down here and then break down below it, now all of a sudden the price is starting to enter into kind of this little miniature no man's land. But if the price could stay above there, then that's the lows from right there, and that'd be a nice sign of strength. But like I said, all things considered, from where the price opened up, very, very solid day. But yeah, it did kind of end with a bit of an annoyance with that fake breakout of the trend line. Next one here, PONY, and I'm not really sure what to talk about on this chart other than the fact of it's a goofy, interesting looking chart. Pulled back, and then, look at that, one green candle after another, after another, after another. But from a trading standpoint, the ingredients are there. The first important bit of ingredients, fantastic, absolutely fantastic volume. Next part is the ability to move, and as you can see here, can move pretty quickly. So other than that, it's kind of a wait and see, meaning maybe the price does something like this, it pulls back a little bit. Well, then at that point, at least you can draw in a pullback channel right there, draw that and say, okay, a bull flag is formed. But obviously that hasn't happened yet, so you can't call this a bull flag. But like I said, that's what I mean. You kind of just got to sit back and wait for something to develop. But the core ingredients are there. Fantastic volume, fantastic price movement. So much so that this is a very unique, interesting looking chart. Just one green candle after another after another. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out on Wednesday. Next one here, WRD, somewhat the same, but not quite as unique looking because there has been some red candles in there. But overall, though, very strong day here for this one, and we'll map out a couple of key levels. So ideally speaking, if you're saying, Clay, what makes this chart look the absolute strongest moving forward? That area of support I would call right there at the $8.20 mark. But if the price falls below there, that doesn't mean the entire chart's destroyed or ruined or anything like that. But yeah, if the price could stay above there, that would be a great sign of power. Taking a step back and looking at things from the bigger picture point of view, that's where you need to watch a purple line there, the 50 period, simple moving average. Keyword being moving, because I totally understand the price right now is way up here. This line's way down here. But as time goes by, that line's going to move itself higher and higher. So it's essentially like a trend line that's going to draw itself for you. I like to call moving averages trend lines for lazy people, because if you don't feel like drawing a trend line, well, this trend line will draw itself for you. So from the overarching standpoint, as long as the price is above that purple line, then the bulls 100% own the chart. Again, if the price could somehow manage to stay above that level, it would be fantastic, but by no means is that some sort of do or die area. In terms of levels of resistance, next key battleground to watch now moving forward, going to be right here at $9.15, going back through the history of things. You can see this area here acted as resistance a few times, acted as resistance, acted as resistance. So that does not mean that 9.15 will for sure guaranteed act as resistance again. I'm just saying that apparently, according to the story here that's being told to us via the chart, the price is going to need to bring it to A game if it's going to be able to push up through that level. But all in all, good solid day. Next one here, TSLA Tesla, and a rough day on this one as it once again gapped down. Now, from the big picture point of view, everything is still perfectly fine because the price is, well, it's still stuck between this general sideways channel. Now, it has gotten closer to potentially breaking on the downside of it, but to be fair, the price is still within the channel, so you can't really say that anything massively bearish has happened. Now, of course, intraday, you can say something bearish has happened. It had the gap down and all that, but I'm not talking about just one single day. I'm talking about looking at the past several days here, and you can see that the chart is hanging in there. Now, I will say that moving forward, the near-term area of resistance, so just kind of not even focused on that one anymore, but in the near term, key battleground points now going to be that purple line there, 50 period moving average. You can see right there, fell below it, and then acted as resistance. So moving forward, right around 280, 140 will be that main battleground. And then if the price can push up through there, then yes, it makes more sense to focus on the top part of the channel. Same is true down here. Near-term area of support is the bottom of the channel, 270.30. If that level falls, though, again, no guarantees, but I think there's a good likelihood that the price, at minimum, goes down there and retests that 200 period simple moving average, current value at 263.75. So yes, today, not the greatest day, but when we're looking at multiple days, the price is still holding strong and staying within that sideways channel. So that wraps up the top 10 list. Again, if you like what you saw here and you want to learn more about the tool, then definitely go get signed up for the free class. It'll be pretty soon, Thursday, May 8th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. So I hope to see you there. As far as your top 10 videos are concerned, as always, if you enjoy these, hit that like button and hit the subscribe button so you know that when new content is released. And then also, as a FYI, I am live streaming. So if you are looking to see some live trading, get some real-time market analysis, I do live stream every day at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. So swing by and check it out if you can. So thanks for watching. Make sure you hit that like button and go get signed up for that free training.